that I've been actually looking forward to checking out. And first off, I want to listen to Young Father's new album, Heavy Heavy. I think it's gotta been like 4 or 5 years since their last album, Sugar, Cocoa Sugar. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it was Cocoa Sugar. It came out 2018, so 5 years since that last album, and that was the first album I actually heard of them, and it instantly made me a huge fan of them. I kind of ran that album into the ground. I was finding myself going back and listening to it over and over and over again. It was so new, it was so fresh, it was so different than anything that was kind of out there. If you don't know who they are, it's kind of hard to explain their sound. They're just alternative. They kind of mix anything and everything together into this kind of alternative pop amalgamation, and they do it in a very unique way. It works. If you don't know them, they're called Young Fathers because I believe all 3 members are named after their fathers, and their story is super interesting. They're from Scotland. Well, they're based in Scotland. I believe 2 of them were born in Scotland, but 2 of the members are Nigerian and Liberian descent. And yeah, they came together in Scotland and formed this amazing band called Young Fathers that is doing music that is different than almost anything out there. And it's been 5 years since that last album, highly critically acclaimed. I believe we had it very high on our list of best albums of the year. And been very interested to see kind of what they can do next, where they would go. How does their sound change? How does it evolve? And we got an answer. Heavy Heavy, new album, out now. So let's check it out. Let's go with track number 1, Rice. Okay, okay. That's how you start an album. Like I said, they just take all these different elements and put it together in such a unique way. They take all these kind of like worldly, ethnic kind of drums and beats and sounds, and then mix it with like all this heavy bass line, and it's crazy. Look, this is crazy. Those drums are crazy. Like those drums, those percussions, like I don't even know where they're from. African, Native, South American, Latin, whatever. Like they just feel so raw and so real, and it's a vibe right now. It's definitely a vibe right now. God damn. Like I said, that's a hell of a way to kind of intro and kind of welcome your audience back to your music and to your sound, man. Like I said, they just do shit that nobody else is doing. The way they like melded those native and kind of tribal chants and backing vocals and just kind of like all these different elements, man. It really just makes you want to like get up and dance and vibe, and kind of that communal sense that you would get like in those communities and cultures. And but they bring into like this modern pop stage that anybody can kind of relate to and feel, and that's a special gift. And Rice was a fire track. I'm excited for this album. Let's keep going. Let's go to drum. Like you get the gospel organs, you kind of got the clapping and stomping. That's very Southern Baptist revival. Like that's what you get in a Black Southern kind of church back in our history and our culture. Even though they're from Scotland and further on directly from Africa. Definitely interesting. I think, you know, historically speaking, obviously, we pull a lot of our own African American culture and traditions from African tribal music. So it's cool to see that kind of crossover. Wow. Uh, I don't even know how you call. I can't think of the name right now. There's definitely a specific name for this kind of music and sound, where it's kind of chanting, rhythmic, hypnotic, like trance. Like it's kind of meant to kind of put you in a trance. Like it's supposed to be almost like a spiritual kind of experience, you know? It's definitely that kind of tribal native feel. And damn, that was something else. That was something else. Let's go to the next track. Tell somebody. Super cinematic. I don't even like, man, this is like an epic moment in a movie, you know, that's kind of building that atmosphere. Like this is super atmospheric, super cinematic, like so big. This is another crazy one. It's almost like a soundtrack. This sounds so big, so cinematic, so, man, compositions are crazy. Like they kind of stripped away a lot of like the mainstream pop elements so far and just went to create something. And this is an experience right now. This music is definitely an experience. Let's go to the next one, Geronimo. Man, another one they really have not missed yet. Like this is just an album so far that just begging to be heard live with others, with other people, surrounded by people, like a whole community. Like this is definitely communal music that's supposed to be felt, you know, like it's inexplicable. Like really, I don't really know how to describe the sound or describe the music they make. I just know that it hits incredibly deep, incredibly hard. There's just something special about it that you can't quite put your finger on, but you know and you hear it. And this is fire so far. Go to Shoot Me Down. Like a church organ shouldn't work right here. Like it shouldn't work with everything that's going on. With kind of like this industrial beat going on with like these heavy synths and like all this other stuff going on. Like it shouldn't work right here, but it does. Somehow it does. Like they just mix all these different elements that don't necessarily go together, but they make it go together and they make it sound extremely good. And like it's just a vibe. This is just another vibe. I have so much to say about kind of their music in this album. Like, I'm just gonna have to wait to the end of this because just too much to apply to one song. Like, everything's just a vibe right now. Let's go to Holy Moly. Let's do like two more. The last two. You know, I've said it multiple times already, but I gotta say it again, man. This whole album, every song on here so far has been a full-on experience. Like, more than music, more than just a song. Experience. Go to the last track that we're gonna listen to today. Be Your Lady, closing track. Let's go. Hold up, bro. That drop shouldn't have been that hard. Like, I was fully expecting kind of like a soft ballad out to kind of end things, but then goddamn, they just surprised the hell out of me with that one. That drop came out of nowhere. I gotta run that one back. Come on, bruh.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Man, wow. Wow. Where to begin with Young Father's Heavy Heavy? This is a work of art. Straight up. Everything I've heard so far is straight up work of art. I said it pretty much the entirety of this kind of live reaction, but this is an experience. Like, this is a straight up musical experience. Like, when I said it was like a soundtrack, I mean, like, just kind of how cinematic, big, expansive everything it is, kind of how visual everything it is. You can almost visualize the things that they were like trying to convey. The soundscapes here are just crazy. Like, Cocoa Sugar is definitely more pop, more radio friendly, you know, had a little bit more catchy choruses, melodies that you can kind of hop onto. And this one just kind of threw all that to the wind and just said, we're just gonna make what we want. And somehow all these like varying different parts that they use here, different sounds, different genres, different styles, somehow it all fits together and created a cohesive project without feeling like dissonant or disjointed. Like, that is an extremely high wire act they were trying to pull off, and they did damn near flawlessly from the opening track to the last one. The tempo shifts, the beat breakdowns, just, man, like the backing vocals. This was an absolute experience. Like, I absolutely have to go back and listen to this again 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But like I was saying earlier, this definitely an album that is meant to be heard live with other people. It's definitely got that communal feel to it, kind of hypnotic, trance-like, mesmerizing. They don't do anything like straightforward. Their songwriting is abstract as hell, but in the best possible ways. Like, there's not traditional choruses, they're not traditional verse, hook, verse structure to any of the songs here. They kind of just do what they feel, and it always kind of hits in that right way. I would love to hear them do compositions for TV show, movie, short film, anything, because this right here is so cinematic. I can't even imagine like the process of mastering all this and getting things to sound right and in line with everything. The way their minds must work compositionally is definitely out there. There are very few acts in music that you can say are wholly kind of unique. But these guys are definitely one of those acts. They are one of one. They're not copying anybody. Their style is wholly them, and I don't see or know of any other artists and acts out there that could pull something off like this crazy. This album is absolutely nuts. A full-on experience. I was vibing the whole way through. I really didn't have to skip if I don't want to. I was just trying to get through things a bit faster, but like, this is one you kind of just throw on with some headphones or some great speaker system, lay back and just enjoy the ride, enjoy the vibe. You won't hear any of these songs on charts, on the radio probably, but this is some of the most impressive music that I've heard in quite some time. And this is definitely on my short list for albums of the year. So I would not be surprised if this is still very high on my list by this year. They set an extremely high bar for 2023, and man, the 5-year wait was absolutely worth it. Shout out Young Fathers. This is fire.